You know what this is. It's official Melodic Science Films material. Watch. Mirage,
You doing it?
What's happening?
You doing
I'm Mirage, aka Big Soul, aka the Big Homie, you know what I'm saying?
Check it down.
Transmit live from the 512-787-23, that is.
Check it down.
I'm an artist, I'm an MC, I'm a producer, I'm an organizer, I'm also a promoter, and just my movement, my record company. Also part founder of a group called The Good, the G-U-U-D. Also part of a group called The Originals. Also a solo artist. So I mean, I do a million things. Just keep your eyes on me. Mirage 512. That's what it is. That's who I am.
my listeners swim until they become addicts. No outpatient treatment and no 12
past,
no therapy available to make
I've been an artist for the better part of about 15 years now. Actually, probably a little longer than that. Yeah, about 15 years. Let me take that back. About 15 years. I have one national record that I put out in 2000 through a label, an independent label out of Los Angeles called Good Vibe Recordings. The name of that project was Liar. It was an acronym, L-I-A-R for life is a rhythm. Once again, that was on Good Vibe Records. My man T-Double produced that. Featured some of my old crew from the Kinetic, boy Icon, and some other people like that. Also dropped an album, a self-titled album in 2007, Mirage. Before that, I dropped an album, just a local album called Rhythm Gumbo, which was some of what turned out to be the Liar EP that I released national in 2000. And I also dropped what I consider my first real legitimate album, which was Bonafide. That was produced by my man Arson Optics. That came out in 2002, and it did a lot of big things, man. A lot of people got that album. I actually found it on eBay. I was really satisfied to see that. And also in 2008, me and three other comrades of mine, we started a group called The Good, the G-U-U-D, the highly esteemed, greatly underestimated underground dudes. That's myself, Young Nick, Trash Man, and the Black Goliath. We released our album in 2009, and it did a phenomenal job. And we're still actually pushing it right now in 2011. We pushed it out through 2010. We have a lot of video and other things out there on the web. Just Google up The Good. If you go to YouTube, you can Google us up. We have a video called Bend the Corner. Also off of my Mirage album, you know what I'm saying, I got a video called Posted in the 8. You can find that on YouTube as well. Just put in Mirage 512, and you can find me there. Well, my latest album is called the SAVANT album, and it's part of a trilogy album that I put out over the last about 4 or 5 years. The first one was Bonafide, and then the second one was the Mirage album, the self-titled album, and the third one is the SAVANT album. And the trilogy was based on time, which Bonafide kind of represented a more classic feel, a more historic feel. I had a picture of my father, an older picture of my father on it. Everything was real classic about that album. And Mirage was very current for the time and the date that it came out. It was a self-titled album, Mirage. That came out in 2007, and the SAVANT album is representing the future. So it actually has a picture of me as about a 5-year-old. I can't really remember. This is that album. This is me circa 1979, 1980. You know what I'm saying? Nice school picture. The SAVANT album is a real special album to me, because I just started getting into the production end of what I do in 2008, and I've been producing a lot of tracks here in my home studio. The S3 3, the Soul Savant Studio. And you know, for all of the artists out there that, you know, do production, you know, most of your first stuff is really, you know, it's not that good. My first beats were garbage, so I'm not gonna even lie about it. But it was a process of me learning the, you know, the technique and how to do what I do with the production. So in 2009, 2010, I started compiling these tracks and these beats, and I started recording here in my house. And what you're getting is the best 14 tracks that I've recorded in the last 2 years to make this Savant album. The reason that I call it the Savant album is, you know, Savant is one who's, you know, extremely learned and understanding of a particular subject, usually literature and science, which I consider music to be science, and of course the words I put over to be the literature. And you know, I consider myself to be a savant of hip-hop culture and Southern culture, and, you know, everything that I choose to talk about on a deeper level. Anybody that's had a conversation with me knows that I go, you know, I can go into a subject real deep and real heavy. So that's why I decided to call the album a Savant. It has 15 tracks on it. I produced more than half of those. I got production by Young Nick, Arson Optics, and my man Mr. Cree, aka Crop Diggy of the Superstar DJs. And of course myself, I did the majority of the album. We gonna be dropping it, or I'm gonna be dropping it on Melodic Science, which is my label, on March 3rd, 2011. We're gonna have a big party, me, Young Nick, and the boy Clements. You'll probably be seeing this after all of this has happened, when I get to edit this up and put it out. So we're dropping it, we're doing a big release party, and I plan on pushing it real heavy. So the Savant album is a great thing. You're gonna love the album. Anybody that's familiar with any of my projects, or even if you've heard, you know, recently, if you kind of got on, you know, new with the good, this album is heavily influenced by the direction that I chose to go with the good, and the direction that I've just kind of taken as of lately with my music. It's still Mirage, it's still what you used to, it's still what you know. I've just embellished it a little bit more, and I've been able to put my own spin on it because I've been able to do the production, and I've had more time to work on the music, being that I can do it at my house now. I can do it in my own studio. And so I'm really excited about the album. I mean, I'm bubbling over. Anybody that chooses to listen to me for 5 minutes about the album gets this same speech. So the Savant album 2011, that's what that is, man. Mirage 5. Well, some of the projects that I have coming up, you know, the future, I don't even really want to put a date on it because, you know, stuff happens, and, you know, you're working with other people, you kind of have to work on different time schedules. But in the last few years, I really went about creating brands and creating movements and being able to go into different chambers and different parts of what I do. So I set up brands and groups and you know, mixtapes and different things to where I can get all of this music out. So the flagship of what I'm doing right now is the good. We started the good, and that's like taking it's going to the stratosphere from where we started at. In April 2011, we're gonna be getting together and starting on a new album, and we're also gonna you know, start with our second leg of the push for the first album, The Goodness. The second album, of course, we haven't started working on, so I don't have a title for it yet. But definitely keep your eyes out. You know, you'll be hearing some more from the grid in 2011, along with me doing my solo stuff. Also, I have a group project that I'm doing with my man Global 74, and we calling that the Originals, or the Originals. That's original with a J. It's O-R-I-J-A. I'm sorry, O-R-I-J-I-N-A-L-S. So Originals. You know what I'm saying? The album, we actually have enough material for about an album and maybe an EP right now. But we're definitely going to be putting out an album sometime in 2011. It's going to be called The Seventh Forness. Y'all definitely look out for that. We have a couple of, you know, like live things and different stuff that we did at shows up on YouTube right now. We have a YouTube channel. So those are some of the projects, you know what I'm saying, the good, the originals, my solo stuff. I kind of shied away from my mixtape hustle. I dropped Formula 512 Part 2 in 2010, and I was thinking about doing a third part, but then I just kind of took everything that I was doing and transferred it to my original beats instead of doing mixtape tracks. So, you know, you might hear a mixtape. You definitely gonna hear me, you know, messing with my comrades, Young Nick, on some of his projects. The boy Casanova, the great one, and all of my affiliates. You know what I'm saying? Kaizen, Arson Optics. We did a lot of work here recently in December. So 2011, 2012. You know, just keep your ears and your eyes open. And if you're looking for me online, you can find me at Mirage 512. Just go to Google, or you can go to Bing. Type in Mirage 512. You can do it with the space, without the space, or you know what I'm saying, you can find me with anything connected to the goods. So that's what that is. Appreciate y'all for checking out SoulOfferingBlogspot.com, and I'm out.